Hello, everybody, and welcome back to RollPlay Far Verona. So, where should we begin? I guess now we can set goals. Now that everybody has like a nice, clear understanding of kind of what's going on this episode, what do you want to do? Because your goals will tell me what you want to accomplish in the next 2 hours. So, who has a goal? Who knows what they want to do? Hit me. Do it. Anybody? Volunteers. Bueller.
Like a short-term goal.
Yeah. Just something to accomplish today.
Yeah. Nomi wants to. I don't know if this. You tell me.
Okay.
Like she wants to have professional, I guess, relationships with her new crew people. Like she doesn't want it to be. She wants to feel like they have respect for her as like the new leader of the crew. That makes sense.
I feel like that's like a longer term one, right? Like gain the respect of my coworkers. Usually takes longer than 2 hours to accomplish, unless you're some kind of super respect generating engine. But yeah, I think that's a good one for a longer term one.
While I was on Heroa, I brought back with me this super respect generator.
Yeah, check it out. I just flip it on and boom, everybody respects me.
Yeah. So I guess if I'm going to,
I'd buy that.
I'm going to interrogate this. It was a Lyran.
It thinks it's a Valen. It's a robot man, but it thinks it's a Valen.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I want to get information out of it that is new that no one else has like gotten, I guess.
Okay. All right. So we get some info out of the synth. Yeah. Good. Okay. Cool. Booker, what would you like to accomplish?
It's tough because Booker's, well, I mean, he's on that assignment as well. Perhaps learn more about what happened on the ship. Like find out exactly what happened on the ship.
Okay. So like get to the bottom of what happened on the sad song Say So Much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was still blurry when we last kind of talked about it in Chloe's last show. Remember me and the chaplain were both like, that's weird.
Okay.
I swear I didn't lie.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Mark's face. He was just like, and I was like,
you.
I don't know if this is Mark or the chaplain who's side-eyeing me now.
It can be both. Yeah. Listen, you think he's good now? Wait until it's Spanish Inquisition time.
Perjury is a sin.
So, what do you want to do, Kiran? What do you want your goal for today?
I think my goal is going to be to probably to put out some feelers of my own amongst the Valen crew members on just who it could have been behind the sabotage. But maybe try to talk to some of my Valen crew members and get their impression of
right.
Of
so
this,
right
this
now
question.
Yeah, right now you're not under arrest or anything, but you're being temporarily detained by Crux security forces while they investigate the situation, and then a Valen ship will come and get everybody except for you because you're being reassigned.
Okay, so I'm not free to roam about and ask.
I mean, you can totally roam around the ship. You just can't leave.
Right.
They're not saying you're not under arrest. You're just
I'm in rich people prison, right? Like the rich people.
You're not. You're not allowed to go wherever you want. Anyway, so you can't leave the ship, but yes, you can totally go around and talk to people and do that. Okay, so talk to the
probably going to do that
to find out more about what happened. Okay, yeah, that would certainly put you in good with the Cirrus and your new team.
Yeah,
if you could find out some
I'm also curious myself because I'm aware, especially because I think my aunt told me last time we talked that the Crux were kind of keeping an eye on me. So it's also in my best interest to figure out like what
Who did
happened
it?
exactly, so that they take the leash off of me a little bit faster too.
Okay. All right. And Chaplain, what would you like to do?
I think torn between a few things. I think what he would like, he's like Booker, like we started this investigation but didn't finish it. But now that the Cirrus is involved as well, I think he wants to try and get on her good side and to kind of be a person that she can trust to get things done. And likewise with Booker, like he wants to kind of get them both to trust him a little bit more. So maybe like help Booker and Nomi with the investigation, but I don't know if that's too broad.
Yeah, I mean, maybe come up with something because everybody else has a specific either thing that they're like chasing or yeah.
I don't know. Give me a hand here, Adam. I don't know. I feel like his thing that he wants to do is like get Booker or Nomi to trust him a bit more. That's like the main thing, but I don't know how to put that into a achievable goal.
I mean, you could just make your goal finding out how to do that, right? Like, pick a person that you want to suck. Pick a person you want to suck up to, and then make your goal. Find out how best to suck up to that person.
Yeah, that pause definitely was unnecessary.
Pick a person you want to suck
up to. Okay, well let's do this. Like learn how to gain Nomi's trust or something like that.
Okay.
I feel like Booker I kind of did the last time we played, so
yeah. Okay, good. You missed sorry, Anne, we didn't talk about that. You missed something really important. Okay. All right.
Okay, cool. The chaplain did Booker while I was gone.
Yeah.
Yep. Fine.
It's very open, the high church. Okay. It's,
it's cool. Listen, you don't. The chaplain doesn't know this about Booker, but Booker has a long history of meeting strange men in alleyways and showers, and so it's fine. It's good. Okay. Cool. So, where should we begin? Nomi, would you go directly to the brig, to the cells, and check out this illegal synthetic, or do you like want to put some people together? Or are you there alone? What's your deal? I'm gonna turn it over to you.
So is there? I'm assuming that there's like some kind of file or something like that I could look at before I went.
Yes.
To, like see what
you
know so far.
Yes. So the file will have let you know that this person matches a synthetic registration number from the seized Cygnus database. This is synthetic unit D7 NPD4-K&K. It believes itself to be the noble Vela Bashara Shadi, and was a passenger on the ship, not a person performing a function. This was a Valen, like a transport vessel. And I think, let me take a look at the sector map. I think that, if I am not mistaken, the problem with the ship happened. Let's see, where's Hyra? The problem with the ship probably happened in Imperial Prime. And it was picked up on their way to Hyra, and then jumped away from there. So it happened in the corest of core worlds. He's chat's asking about, because I mentioned him being a chef. He's not a chef like by trade. Like that's just something that he did on the ship, like for his friends and for the other nobles. It's a travel vessel. He was a passenger. Yeah. So that's a note on his personnel file. And people know him. There's like some there isn't a lot of surveillance because the Valens don't have the level of kind of personnel management that a House Crux ship or a Serpent ship would. So you can see there's sort of security holes all over the dossier. But that's about all you know about this guy, or who he thinks he is anyway.
Okay. Can you repeat his like label number? You said it was D7.
Oh
something.
yeah. So it's D7 colon NP D4 dash KNK.
Okay.
Yep.
I was just trying to figure out how I would like refer to it.
Short form usually. I mean, it's like droids, right? Like you find something that sounds kind of like a word. Like you could call it K and K if you want it to be like gentle, but also it's a machine. You could just call it like nothing. It doesn't have a name. It has a serial number.
Right.
If you want to be really nice, you could go along with his imagining that his name is Shadi, but that's a human name and he's not a human. So.
So yeah, I read all of that kind of on my way to the cell, I guess, and I don't take anyone with me. I just go by myself.
Okay. All right. So the synth in question, you are viewing from the prisoner viewing area, is in a smallish cell. There aren't any like big ones. This isn't a permanent facility. So little smallish cell. There's a cot, and the cell itself is a little smaller than like a room. The rooms you were staying in Honglu. It's got a he's not given any prisoner amenities because he's a fucking robot and they don't deserve them. So he doesn't have like a blanket or anything. There's a little like jutting out shelf that he can pretend to sleep on. He's wearing a standard like prisoner jumpsuit. And when you see him, he's just sitting with his head in his hands, just staring kind of at the wall. He's kind of checked out.
How long has he been here?
I don't know. Did we ever, Bronze, did we ever figure out how long you've been on the ship? Like when you got picked up? It hasn't been that long, right?
No. I think I was only on it for probably about like 6 months. I think I'm trying to remember what I said last episode.
It would have been shorter than that. Like I think 3 months is the longest, and that would be if you arrived right after they left on their mission. Like if you got picked up right after this ship was deployed on Tootham.
Mhm.
So yeah, somewhere between 3 months and now. And if you were on the ship for 3 months and didn't find anything to do, I think that would reflect ill on you and your family.
Oh, are you talking about this ship or the Swan
No,
Song?
yeah, this ship specifically. Yeah, you were on the Swan Songs for 6 months. Sorry, and then this ship, you were on the Prudence for a much shorter amount of time.
Way shorter than that. Yeah, I've only been on this ship for probably about like between 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's call it like 3 weeks. Like let's shorten it right down.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, that's how long Nomi the Valens were on the ship, and then about 2 weeks ago they matched this guy up with a database because these requests sometimes take a while. So yeah, you managed to decrypt his database entry down on Hyra. Central Command was like, "Yep, you got yourself a robot," and yeah, and then he was arrested and put away for interrogation. And the reason in the file, the reason that it hasn't been retired already, is that there's some suspicion that it might be connected to a larger network of other synthetic, like illegal synthetics. So if you just kill it, you may lose that lead.
Right. Okay. So he can see me, right? It's not like a one-way.
You're in another room looking at him on a monitor.
Okay. And he's just staring at the wall. Can I use like my telepathic contact on him from here?
I don't know what the distance is. Let's take a look.
Yeah, my notes don't say.
Yeah, let me take a look for you. Telepathic contact. Yeah, because I know you have to be able to see. Yeah, it's line of sight, but I don't know if that means if it's unaided. I think you have to be able to see him like in person.
Like we have to be face to face for that.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to see you because you can like read people's minds without them realizing you're doing it or being able to see you. But yeah, I think you'll have to go down there and stand in front of the door and like.
Oh,
look
can I
him
do
in.
that? Yeah, I want to do that. I want him to
Yeah,
actually be able
okay.
to see me.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, there's like a viewport in the door of his cell, and so you head down there. We see you walking across the gangplank. It's a crux ship, so there's like a dozen of these little cells, and yeah, and I think he probably. The room's pretty soundproof, so he doesn't hear you coming unless you turn on the intercom and let him see you.
No. But wait, if it's soundproof, then how will he hear me? There's an intercom.
You've got an intercom. Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay. This is not quite the setup that I thought it was, because it can't be like in the same room with him
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be in the cell
and just
with
like
him.
talk to him. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you can stand outside and be like, "Hey, prisoner," and press the button.
Yeah, that's not really what I wanted to do, but
I mean, you can get a security, like someone can come in there and point a gun at him, and like you could be in the same room as him if you want.
let's do that.
Okay, yeah. There's like crux
what I wanted,
goons
yeah.
all over the place. Okay,
Great.
so the officer looks at you and he says he takes his gun out and checks the ammo, and then looks at you and says, "Whenever you're ready, Cirrus."
And I like nod and go to open the door.
Yeah, he hits a button on his wrist pad, holds it up to the door. There's a beep as the two of them communicate, and then the door opens, and we see the prisoner inside kind of start. The door slides out of the way, and the officer, the cop, comes in. He doesn't point the gun at him, but he's got a hand up, like, "Stay seated, don't move." And the guy like puts his hands up, like, "Oh, okay, all right, stay sitting," and looks at you. So he's got a He's got kind of dusky skin, got a good amount of stubble built up now. He's a little greasy from not having had a shower in a while. And he's got kind of a manic look in his eyes. And this guy, the officer's like, "Stay seated, like sit down, don't move." The Cirrus here has some questions she's going to ask you. You behave yourself, you're going to get through this okay. And then he turns to you and gives you a like, "All right, we're good." And then the door closes, and you notice up above you there is a little Prism brand security camera watching the two of you.
Yeah. So I look at the prisoner. His name's he thinks his name is Shoddy, right?
Yep.
So and I kind of give him a brief nod and I say, "My name is Cirrus Nomi Ka. I have just returned aboard the ship, and I was told that you might be looking for someone to speak with, Shoddy."
And he's like, a Cirrus? What? Why? I don't understand. I haven't done anything. They brought me in here, and I've been having a hard time remembering things. Are you here to help me with that?
Yes, I am here to help you. If you've truly done nothing wrong, then there's no reason to keep you here. Tell me what you do remember.
I remember the ship and some of the members of the crew. I remember cooking for them, making food. There were friends there. There was some kind of accident. I think I must have been injured, but I don't. And he like kind of looks at himself like, I don't think I'm. Did I hit my head? No one will tell me anything. And he looks at this Crux officer like these fucking screws. They're not helping me out here. And he turns back to you and he says, "Please, I just need someone. Maybe I need to see a doctor. I've been having trouble sleeping. I think there's something really wrong."
I just kind of like listen and nod and I say, I was not made fully aware of your condition. I'm sorry to hear that you're having these troubles. perhaps I can get someone to come and check on you.
And you see him sigh and his shoulders drop, and like there's relief there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm afraid that in order to get them to trust me trust you enough for me to bring a doctor in here. And when I say them, I kind of look at the guard next to me
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
I say, I'm going to need to have you tell me as much as you can about the ship you were on, where you were going, your life before.
I, of course. I mean, are you sure that's necessary? I don't feel sick, and I don't. Okay, well, what do you want to know?
So just for Adam, my goal is to like try
Yeah.
and find like who he might be connected to, like personally, so that because we're trying to like find the link to the other synths, right?
Yeah, there's some indication from the Cygnus database that this synth was not a solitary operator, that it was part of like a
Mhm.
staff of other artificials, and they
Mhm.
tend to be like force bonded to each other. So if you have
Right.
like a group of soldiers, like soldier synthetics, they are all kind of like mentally bonded to each other in the way that like people bond with their family when they as they're growing up. So they're like a litter or a pack or whatever. So it's in the reports, he's supposed to be part of like a group of other synths, and if they're still out there, maybe he'll rat them out, and you can use him to get at them.
Right. So I guess I could ask him for like who, like I don't know who, like people that he's close to or something.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know.
Like it's sort of up to you to try to figure out if there's a protocol for that, if he
Right.
is indeed a synth.
Okay. So yeah, I'll say to him kind of like, perhaps if you're having difficulty remembering because of your condition, you can remember the name of someone that we could speak to from your ship who might be able to tell us more about you and your history. Perhaps you have some lingering medical condition that now you're forgetting because of your condition, and that will help us diagnose you.
There must be someone. I'm sure I have a family. They took my ring, my signet. It's and he looks, and you can see there's like a ring tan like on his hand. And he's like, I'm sure that could help connect me to my family, my parents. I don't remember them very well. I think I had a sister. Her name was. I'm sorry, Cirrus. I can't remember.
Um, I don't know if my no, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know if my like telepathic contact will help me to like pull that name out of him.
So what it'll do is it'll give you access to like his internal like emotional state, right? Like whatever he's feeling, and if that
Okay.
doesn't match up, it'll give you leverage over him, right? If you know he's actually scared, but he's pretending to be like fine or whatever, right? It'll give you access that he doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will he notice if I do that? Like if I just read him and I don't like trying to influence him at
Nah.
all? Okay, cool. Then
No.
I just want to try and read him then.
Okay, so you just commit the effort and kind of open
Yeah.
up his brain. He gets a mental effect save, right? I think he does. Let me double check with telepathy.
I don't know.
Observe emotional states. Intense emotions provide a single word or image related to the focus. Here we go. Basic forms do not allow for a saving throw. So nope, you can just feel his feelings. He's feeling some complicated stuff. So like the core stuff that he's feeling is like textbook like prisoner feelings, right? Confusion, uncertainty, fear, wanting like needing to be reassured. Whenever you do anything that seems like you're on his side, that feels like it calms down a little. And yeah, he's mostly just like confused.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like he's like like it doesn't line up with the way he's acting.
Okay. So was the ring in his like file from before? Did he? Well, I guess if they took it from him.
Yes. Yeah. Nobody's like had a chance to run it yet. Y'all are the ones, like, basically, like, you get the impression that he was only discovered a couple of days ago. So there's a bunch that hasn't been done yet.
Okay. Cool. Then I'll look back at him after I kind of like read his feelings, and then I just say,
Yeah, and
"Are
this
you
this
sure
is
there's noth-
ongoing. Like, you'll keep being able to read his feelings. It's not a one-time thing. It keeps happening.
Okay. Are you sure there's nothing else that you can remember? Anything at all, no matter how small it might be."
I was on the ship. I remember bits and pieces. Things are clearer, closer to. I remember the Crux ship. There was. We were moved over in shuttles. Something bad happened on the sad songs. There was an Amira. I remember her. We talked. What was her name? And you can see him struggling to remember. She would remember me. I recognize who I am. I'm sure of it. And he looks
She
up at
was
you like, help me out here. Like, you have to remember. Like, give me something to go on.
Yeah. So the Amira you met, she was on the shuttle or she was on the ship?
I remember her on the ship. There was a conversation. There were a bunch of us. I had made food. We were talking about Hakani and how long it was since the last time we were there. She was supposed to. Something about getting married. Like, she didn't want to. And you can see it's like physically like hurting him to try to remember, because he knows if he could just remember this woman's name, you could go talk to her and she'd be like, he's great and everything's fine. But he can't. And he's like just like desperate to like, desperate to
Yeah.
remember.
So I kind of like I put my hands out in like kind of a calming like motion. Where I'm just like, that's okay. That's okay for now. Thank you. You have been very helpful. I will try to see what I can do about getting you a doctor. And in the meantime, try to make yourself comfortable. And I kind of look around at like this like blank floor, you know?
Like, they haven't even given him like a pillow or a blanket or whatever. Like,
and I look at the guard and I say, I think that's all for now. I may return soon, and I hope that we will be able to speak some more.
and he nods and he says, you can check my file. And he looks at the guard, and he there's clearly something he wants to say, but can't say with the guard here.
Yeah. So my transmit thought allows me to speak with someone like it says allowing two-way communication with a willing target as an instant action when desired. So can I use that?
Yes, sure. You can offer that mental connection to him.
Okay, cool. I do that.
Okay. So he blinks like, what the fuck is going on? He can feel like your mind, like, you give him the fucking serpent's glare, and you can feel his mind, like, and he opens his mind to you, like he kind of like looks at you like, he's obviously never had this happen before, but he trusts you and he wants to trust you. And so speed of thought communication. So what do you say to him? Like, you feel you connect to his mind.
Yeah, I say like, I'm here to help you. Tell me what you need to say.
He says, and this is great because this all happens in an instant. He says to you, I think they think I'm not a person. I've seen the way that these Crux treat people they think are synths. I'm not. I'm real.
And I kind of give him I kind of like, well, no, I can't. I guess I wouldn't smile because the guy would see me. But I think like, is there any way to prove that?
The ring. I have records. I'm part of a family. Just check.
And I look around like the cell kind of, and I like think to him, and yet it has been 2 weeks since you last ate.
And he's like, that can't be. No, it's not possible. And like he doesn't obviously remember. Like there's clearly gaps in his memory.
Yeah. Okay. So then I kind of just like shut it down and then leave.
Yeah. Yeah. And he like sits and like leans back against the wall, kind of stares. And the officer says to you, we're done here?
And I nod to him. We're done.
Okay. So the guy goes and he puts his hand up to the door. The door hisses and opens, and he gestures for you to leave. Like go first because he's got to keep this guy in the cell. Okay. All right. So you walk out, and and you walk out, and the door slides shut behind you.
Cool.
And the guard says to you, he shakes his head, and he's just like, these fucking synths. And he just kind of like looks back at the cell with disgust.
Yeah. And kind of a look of like malice on Nomi's face.
Mm-hmm.
And she just says, yes. Monstrosities. And I kind of walk away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he escorts you out. So while that's going on, what's everybody else up to? Who has things that they want to be pursuing?
I guess Booker would be trying to maybe speak with Kieran just to ask more about what she recalled happening because she's from the sad song.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only other people that were from there was like her.
There's a bunch of like background. There's a bunch of background passengers. Right. That you haven't talked to, and I don't have like a list, but that's what the connector contact skill is for. Well, if you need, it's a connect skill. So if you need someone, you tell me what they can do or give you, and then you roll, and then we can just like have them exist.
Yeah, I think Booker would be visiting Kieran, knowing that she was on board there to kind of see if it matches up with what the prisoner said something. He said something about an explosion, right? Did he get into details? I can't remember. My memory's a little hazy.
Chances are pretty good that he did not. That he did not have any detail for you. He said he vaguely remembered there being.
I remember he was like cooking and there was an explosion, something like that. Yeah, and it was kind of it was pretty vague. I just want to make sure there was nothing that I overlooked. I'm sure chat will probably see if there was. But yeah, Booker's probably making his way to Kieran.
Okay, all right. So, Kieran, where does Booker find the Amira?
Well, let's see. I'd probably be on one of the viewing decks.
Mm-hmm.
Probably reading the news on my data pad and occasionally looking out the window.
Okay, sure. So that's Booker. That's where you find her.
Booker's going up. Mira, Kieran, can I steal a moment of your time?
Of course. How can I help you, officer?
Booker like looks around real quick just to see if there's is there like a bunch of people within earshot or viewing deck? So it's either populated or not. You know,
there doesn't have to be.
Okay. Then I was curious to find out more about the situation regarding ship that you came in on. Can you give me your recollection of what happened, play by play, as it were?
Of course. Let's see. Well, I wasn't too familiar with the person in custody currently. There were some rumors of or various talk that some information had come down from Crux Command. And then there was an explosion. I'm sorry. Things were very muddled.
And plus you weren't given information, right? Like this is the
Right.
thing that happens in a crisis is like a bad thing happened. We have to get you off the ship. These people are
Yes.
saving you. Now you're on this other ship, but you don't necessarily have the information that
Yeah.
would tell you like, oh, and then this happened.
Mhm. There was an explosion. I was informed. I was navigating at the time. I was informed that there was a issue with one of the engines, and I was escorted to safety. At some point, I mean, I heard rumors that it was an inside job or a sort of sabotage, whatever you want to call it. But that was only what people were kind of saying in passing.
Adam, what's it called?
Yeah.
The synth in question. What was his name again? We just talked.
His real name or his
name that he goes by, because he was claiming, from what I remember, to
human
be
fake he made up name.
He was claiming to be a cousin, I believe, of Kieran, right?
Yeah, cousin's a tricky term because it might mean literally a cousin, and it might mean like we're both nobles from the same house. He was claiming to be Vela Bishara Shadi. Bishara is his family name. Shadi is his first name, and Vela is the name of his house.
Yeah. So Booker's just gonna ask: does the name or person Vela Bishar Shadi mean anything to you?
I think I may have talked to him once or twice on the ship.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if have we had a conversation about him before?
No,
like
no.
what you remember about him?
Yeah, it's kind of uncharted waters, but I'd like to know more about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you make a mental effect save to see how much you remember about this? See if you remember this dude or not.
Oh God.
Okay. So just vaguely, there were a lot of Valens on that ship because it's a Valen ship. And it was making like a run around the galactic core, dropping people off and picking people up. You remember him being like someone who he had like dinner parties in his cabin, and he seemed like kind of a social climber. And you remember him definitely talking to you, like you got invited to one of these, and you remember him talking about like family stuff a lot, like just asking you like, do you have any siblings? Are you married? Are you planning on getting married? Like making like awkward family small talk, but like you don't really remember you don't remember anything he said about himself, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember a little bit about him. I met him in passing a couple of times. He was the ship's, chef, so to speak. You're muted.
Booker has lost his voice. He just is unable to speak.
Sorry, I've been practicing miming. Did you hear? No, Booker said, so definitely no close relationship that you can recall with this individual.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't say close. I maybe had one or two passing conversations with him. Very casual.
I see. Something just doesn't add up in my mind with what happened on that ship. I agree with, I don't know exactly what it is or what it means, but it's not lining up. There's nothing else that you can think of that might, anything on your mind at all that might be helpful? Or concerns. I mean, from before. You seem to be a little curious about me and my past. Forgive me for being a little reluctant to share, but you understand that how these things go, unless I have proper, authorization to divulge what happened on these missions. I can't. My hands are tied, and so is my tongue.
Oh, I completely understand, and I don't blame you at all. Especially with the chaplain present, I don't think it would have been wise for you to give too much away. He may have, you know, he may have not been happy with your candor. I know that people like to keep their cards close to their chest in situations like this. Sadly, I'm not aware of anything that might be too pertinent, but I am willing to aid in your investigation. I'm sure there's a few people I had closer ties with on the ship. I could perhaps speak to some of them on your behalf, or maybe you could accompany me. Maybe you could accompany me to go speak with them, and perhaps speaking to a fellow Valen, they might be more open with giving you information.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah,
if you time permitting, I don't know what you have scheduled for today, but I would appreciate that if we could go ahead and, what?
It's funny because Booker doesn't know this, but the Amira has literally nothing to do all day, every day. Like you're just you're here you're like desperately looking for something to do.
This formalities, being polite.
No, I love that. So you're just like, if you don't have anything to do, and the Amira's like, no, literally, like I definitely want
to do something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps, like you said, you'd have more insight into the crew. They're probably less willing to talk to me anyways. I have somewhat of a, let's say, reputation.
I would definitely be willing to assist in any way I can. Adam, I have the henchkeeper skill. Is it possible that I could have a potential henchman on board that I could enlist their help or summon them to
yes, within 24 hours of your being on the ship, you have a suitable hench person.
Wait, that's a skill you can have?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a skill where I have henchmen.
Yeah, they just show up.
That's excellent.
You have like servants and
Booker,
so
this is my
definitely
friend.
This is
Yeah.
my man. See if I can
So,
talk to them. Put some
You
feelers
can
out.
have one. You can have one of these henchmen for every 3 levels you have as a character. So let's figure out. I'll randomly generate a name for your henchman, and then we'll. And so a hench person in this game. Let me look up kind of how they work. So I think basically they serve in a loyal fashion until betrayed or placed in unacceptable danger. They're not important people and are usually marginal sorts.
Hey,
Desperate.
henchmen are people too.
So you have a
Akron,
pleb.
please.
You have a pleb that serves you. Yeah, so just like your
180
You have
from
a house
Riley.
elf. You have a house elf. Okay.
Yep.
Vera gave me a sock.
Okay, so this person
awful.
do you have a gender preference for your hench person? Your manservant?
I would prefer female if they're like a personal helper.
A lady?
And I would prefer female.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
so let
imagining
me-
like Natalie Portman with her like entourage of like female helper people that were all like trained in combat and shit.
Yeah. I mean, they can't fight. It specifically says when they face danger, they will like hide. But definitely, you would. Yeah. I mean, this is a common thing among nobles. So, all right, let's get a random name going for this person. All right.
You know, when they ain't around you, they talking shit about you.
All right. And
No, I'm super nice.
Playing
feminine
like
sounding
poker in
names.
the closet, sitting on pots or something around mops and shit.
Okay. Her first name is Eleanor. Her last name, she's like a pleb. You own her, basically.
That's a slave.
Eleanor.
That's not a
Yep, that's the
henchman. That's a
Empire.
slave.
Hello,
Thanks.
welcome to the Empire. Turns out this is how it works. So yeah, she's like a traveling personal serf. Her name is Eleanor, and her last name is let's see.
Roosevelt.
Ellen. That would be weird. Eleanor Guzman. So Eleanor Guzman, Surf Guzman, Eleanor. You would call her by her first name. She's a manservant, basically. So she's like your butler, or your handmaiden or whatever. And she was in the room. She's been in the background of every scene that Kiran has been in, and we just never noticed her. She's just been there. I assume, based on your quarters, that you keep her like dressed nicely. And that your servant Eleanor. Now, is she veiled? Like, or is she allowed to show her face? Or
Yeah, she's allowed to show her face. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
and I would keep her well dressed. I don't want a Dobby-esque situation of like, oh, master gave me a tea towel. Like,
weirdly, Booker, you see this woman standing behind Kiran, and she's wearing a bag. She's wearing just a burlap sack. Just a sack hanging from her emaciated bones. She looks like she has one or more diseases. Yeah, she doesn't take care of her peasants.
And have clothes. It's so cold on these crux ships.
Yeah, right. She's got one sandal on.
oh my god.
No, she's like nicely dressed. And literally, this is how good servants work. She just didn't need to exist until you needed her to exist. And so when you're like, maybe I have someone who can help me find, and you turn and she's just like waiting for you. She's like, how can I assist you, Amira?
Eleanor, do you perchance have an idea of which of our crew made it on board this crux vessel we're on currently?
I don't have a record on hand, Amira, but I'm sure I could find one.
Please do so. And while you're at it, could you maybe put some feelers out and see who was close to or quite friendly with the ship's cook?
As you wish, my lady.
Thank you. Please let me know as soon as you have any idea. It's very important.
Of course, Amira. And she scuttles off to go and do that. So what we'll do is I'll have you roll connect, but she'll give you a +1 for her assistance. And yeah. And so
I'm not gonna tell me wash my feet.
I mean,
why not?
So in this case, yeah, right? Like in this case, she literally belongs to you, right? She is a serf. If you lived on a planet, if you were like a landed noble, you would live in a big house, and she would live in a little village, and she would do her villager shit, and all the money that she made would come to you, and then you would give her some. So in this case, she has been taken off of whatever planet she was from, away from her family, and given to you to be like, your job now is to follow the Amira around and do whatever she needs you to do. Which in this case is like go and talk to people. So yeah, so she's gonna go do that. She's gonna go and ask around for you.
Okay. So
go ahead and roll connect with charisma.
Okay. And then with the +1?
Yes, with a +1 from her helping. Oh my god. Eleanor,
How?
play Despacito. Wow, how did you pull that off? That's good.
What?
I'm confused.
If you
Because I got +1.
Oh, you put. So here's what happened. You broke the math. You put +1 instead of 1 for the modifier, which confuses the computer. And the computer's like, I can't, and it just blows the whole thing. So what actually happened? If you hover over the 0, you rolled a 3, and you rolled a 3, and then you got a +1. So you got a 7. Yes. So
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about this person that you're connecting with. So what do you want them? You want them to know someone who knows knew this. He's not even the chef, like just this nerd who liked cooking.
Yes.
Okay, so someone who knew Shadi. Okay. And do you want them to be like another Valen, like a Valen noble, or?
Sure. I'll make things simple.
Okay, great. Let me get a name for that person, and then your next thing you could be chatting with them. So Chaplain, what are you up to? What do you got going on?
There's two things that I'd like to do, actually, like two avenues that I've been thinking about that I think he'd want to try and explore to get some intel. The first thing I want to try and find out, and I don't know if this is something that the Sad Song records would have been brought on board, the prudence that I can go through, or if it's just like information that can be accessed by like getting a crux, computer nerd to do. But we know that Shadi was a passenger, and basically I want to find out like where he got on the ship and how he got on the ship. Like, was he given authorization to board it? Did he just happen to like walk on it at a port somewhere, or was he placed there? Did he buy a ticket? Like, that's one thing I want to try and check out if I can.
Okay.
And then the other thing was to try and see if there was like internal surveillance on the Sad Song that can also be accessed. Like, I'm assuming it's, most people are going over it already, but maybe trying out some angles that people hadn't thought of before.
Yeah, I mean, as Nomi found out, nobody's really doing anything. Like,
yeah, okay.
And this is how Crux justice works. Sometimes the first thing they check is, are you a synth? If yes, fuck everything else. Like, forget all that. You're a robot. We don't even need to do anything else.
Yeah. So those are the two investigation avenues I want to go down. How did that guy get on the Sad Song? Where from? And if at the behest of anybody, who? And then surveillance of what actually happened on the ship, and maybe who he interacted with as well.
Okay, sure. So what would be the avenue that you would use to get access to that stuff? Because it's all kind of like Crux like data. Do you go to the Richter and ask for the files, or?
Trying to think if I would. Yeah, well, he'd either go to the Richter or like maybe a connect roll for like some sort of tech aboard the ship, but maybe the Richter. Because I've already worked with him before, and
you can go direct to the Richter. Technically, the chain of command here would be Nomi.
Right. Okay.
So Nomi would be the one you would go to, and actually that'd be some good synergy because I think Nomi wants the similar things.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do the same thing. Nomi, where would the chaplain find you if he were to go looking for you?
So after I talked to the synth, I probably would try to figure out, like, we took his stuff. Right? So, like, where would the ring be?
Yes, all of his belongings would have been...
like an evidence locker or something?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's where I would be, so that I could go through his stuff.
Okay, all right. So, Nomi, you've been given access to the locker, and you are... he's got some personal effects, basically whatever he had on him when he left. So, he has a ring with the House Vela like logo, the sort of RFID like thing, a signet ring. It's fairly traditional to have it as like an actual ring, but so he has that. He has the clothes that he was wearing, which were normal, if somewhat unfashionable, Valen garb, and I think he had like an antique, like a style or an actual antique, like a pocket watch, and then a data pad, and it's all sealed up in a little vacuum packed like thing that you're given in the security facility. And so the chaplain comes in as the officer, the like guy responsible for all this stuff, is like, here you go, Cirrus. This is everything. He hands it to you. And so this is sort of when you walk in.
So I'll bow very low and respectfully to the Cirrus. Cirrus, my apologies to disturb you, but I wanted to come and speak with you about this investigation that is going on currently. I believe that you are the one I would need to speak to request permission to access some files that I think may be able to give us some leads.
Yes, Chaplain. What files would those be?
Well, whilst I am but a humble chaplain, I have some experience in investigations and tracking down individuals. I began to ask myself a few questions. We understand that this individual was a passenger aboard the ship in question. My first question is, where did he board the ship? Was he always upon it? It does not seem from speaking to the others that was the case. If he did board the ship, where from? How did he gain access to it? Did he purchase a ticket? Was it he placed there by somebody of some importance that may have more information on him. The other factor was I do not believe that any of the surveillance has been looked into regarding what actually occurred upon the sad song, nor who this individual actually interacted with, both of which I believe would be fine avenues to begin our investigation.
Yes, Chaplain, that sounds like an excellent place to start. I will ensure that you have the proper access that you require, and please keep me apprised of all of the knowledge that you find.
Of course, Sirius. My understanding is that now that you are back on the Prudence, you are in charge of the investigation. I've been working with Agent Officer Greaves in your absence, and I hope that I can provide helpful information to you. Is there anything that you require, any assistance that I can offer you, or anything that you require some assistance with?
No, I think that your forward thinking with the files will be adequate for now. Thank you, Chaplain. Let me know what you find.
Of course, Silas. Thank you. And then, once I got the access, go and locate a terminal to go through that stuff.
Yeah, if Nomi has given you permission, the Crux officers are like, yeah, I'll bring up that information, and they give you the file to look at. Nomi, do you stick around to see what the chaplain digs up, or do you want to go and do a different thing?
Well, I was going through the synth stuff. Is like personal belongings. So besides the ring, is there anything else that's like not like clothing or whatever?
I don't think so. I think like it looked like he was in a rush to get out of wherever he was. There's no like luggage and that seems to be pretty much the case with these folks that they got over here. Obviously they've been re-outfitted since, but not him because he's in jail.
Okay, cool.
But the ring will give you access to his it'll confirm his nobility. Basically, that's what it's for.
Okay. Cool. So I'll just take the ring, I guess, and then return everything else to the evidence thing. I'm allowed to like take that to like run tests.
Yeah. It's your investigation, so you can do what you want.
Sweet. I don't know who I'll take it to since we don't have a computer person on our squad.
I mean, you're in the right place. You're in the right place already. Like you can just chuck it to a Crux tech and be like, run this. Okay,
cool. Then I do that.
Okay. All right. So this is actually, it can all take place at the same time. So I'll have you, now that you have the information in front of you, let's have you roll Chaplain Valencio.
Okay.
So this is going to be an intelligence and no roll.
Okay. So intelligence, no. And I'm guessing that's what, to like decrypt it all or like put it all together,
just
kind
to
of thing?
Just to dig through it and to like look for stuff and
Okay, cool. No modifier. 8.
Okay. All right. So ask me questions. What are you looking for? What do you want to know? This is the manifest. It's all, you have all these files before you. Ask me, you can ask me some questions and I'll tell you what you dig up.
So I guess my first question is, where did Shadi Bashara board the sad song, and how did he get access to it? Was he assigned to it? Was he given access to it by somebody else?
Okay. So the sad song Say So Much stopped in the Imperial Prime system. He got on Imperial Prime. Basically, he took a shuttle up from Imperial Prime. He's a chartered passenger, so the records are like he paid, and it looks like he was headed for Orpheus on the ship, but they obviously never made it there.
Is the ticket price
it's a one-way ticket. All the tickets on the sad song Say So Much are super expensive because it's like it was like a luxury travel vessel.
Super expensive.
Okay.
And I guess there's no way that I can access like how like his bank records or anything like that from this information.
No, that kind of stuff is all...
We just see the purchase of it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the other thing I wanted to know was to go through surveillance footage to see what happened with the sabotage, and then also who he interacted with on the ship, like any of the crew that we have access to now. people that he looks chummy with, anybody that he looks like he has communication with, that sort of thing.
Okay. As I said before, unfortunately, it's a Valen ship, and so they're not necessarily. This particular ship isn't necessarily like that great about security, in terms of like monitoring every passenger. If this were a Crux ship, they would definitely have that under control. But I think you can find like you see him getting on the ship, right? You see him. He's got a duffel bag, and you see him getting on. There's no real like internal security. Definitely no footage of like the moment of the explosion or whatever, because there aren't internal cameras. There's mostly external ship cameras, but you do have an external camera shot. We get it. It's in like lower res, kind of black and white shot of the outside of the ship from one of their monitoring cameras, and there's just an explosion. It's quiet because it's space, but you just see like chunks of the hull blow out and venting of atmosphere. And it definitely, it looks like there was a hull breach as a result of some kind of internal explosive situation.
Would I know whereabouts on the ship the explosion came from? Like whereabouts the explosion occurred? Like which part of the ship? Like engine room?
Do you have training in any skill that would let you do that?
I don't have any training in piloting. No, I've got training in notice, but that's about it.
No, I don't think you recognize this particular hull.
Okay, but I could probably take it to a pilot. Maybe like, could I get like a screen grab and put it on my data slab or something? Like maybe
like you could. You could pull up. You could pull up like what the ship's schematics were or something, because it's like one of a certain like it's a class of ship, so you could try to do that work.
Okay. Yep. Well, I'll save that information down. And then we know he got on board there. That's where he was headed. It was super expensive. I don't know if there was anything. Does it have, like, you said that he had a duffel bag. Does that show in what was recovered from him as a person from when they were brought off the ship? Did it record him having a bag with him?
No, whatever it was still in his quarters or something.
Okay. Yeah. That's important information. Cool. Okay, great. Okay. I think that's all I can think of.
Sure. So what's great about being in orbit over Hyra, like Planet Cop, is that you have immediate access to their databases. It's not like, hey, check the Signet for this. Wait 2 weeks. Here you go. So Nomi, the officer takes the ring. It's like a silver ring with a little constellation, the Valen constellation on it. He puts it in a tray, slides it into an analyzer, hits a couple of buttons. It gets scanned, and then he turns back to you, and he spins around in his chair, and he's like, shouldn't take more than a... Oh, okay. And he turns back around. He's like, we got it right here, and pulls the information, and he says, you want to look at it on screen, or should I fire it to your data pad?
My data pad will be fine, thank you.
So he reaches out and he grabs a holographic, like a sphere, a little purple sphere, kind of makes a flicking gesture, and your data pad hums with newly received data.
Cool. I look at it.
Okay. So you take a look, and it's a standard, like a Signet entry, gives date of birth, records for like parentage, siblings, all the kind of stuff that a database of important people would want to have collected on them, so they can prove who they are. And I think that at a glance, it all looks like pretty accurate. It looks like this is a record for this person by name. It shows you his parents. He has a sister named Concordia, and he was born on Hakani. He's in his mid-20s. At a glance, it all checks out.
Okay.
It didn't bring back an error, or it's not like a dead person.
Is it possible for these rings to be forged?
Yes. Yeah, it definitely is. Difficult, very, very difficult, but
right. And expensive, but he did buy an expensive shuttle ticket. So
yeah, you would need, if you wanted to forge a Signet like article of Signet entry, you would need like maybe to like TL5 like technology to do that, which is very hard to come by.
Okay. Cool. So can I check the like list of the other passengers to see if his sister Concordia was on? Like, did we imprison?
Yeah.
We didn't imprison any of them except for this one guy, right?
He's the only guy who is in a cell.
Okay. Cool. But then are the rest of the passengers on the Prudence somewhere?
Yep,
They,
they're just
took
like
them
around.
aboard?
They've been given quarters to hang out and wait until another
They-
ship can come and pick them up.
They were told that he died, right, Adam? Like that was the official kind of story.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So I want to check to see if Concordia is somewhere on our ship.
Yeah, I mean the chaplain is looking through that information right now, so you can just ask him to do it.
Cool. So I go to the chaplain then, and
Yeah, and he's just across the room from you. He's at a terminal.
Oh.
Ceres, I found some useful information. I was going to bring it over and share it with you. Is there something I can help you with?
Yes, I would like to know if you have a record of the other passengers from the sad songs that are now aboard the ship.
Yes, I have it right here. I was just checking some things myself. I'll flick to the passenger list. Check and see if this sister was there.
No, there's
Yeah.
no entry for Vela Bishara Concordia.
No entry, but let me see. Let me check something. Is there a way that I can use the Crux databases to check and see if Concordia is on Orpheus, the planet that he was heading to?
That'll take some time, but you
Okay.
could certainly put in the
Okay.
request.
Put in the request. I'll turn to Nomi then and say, no evidence of a Concordia aboard the Sad Song, but I learned that our individual got on an Imperial Prime, chartered a passenger ticket, which was quite expensive, to head to a one-way trip to Orpheus. I also noticed that he was carrying a duffel bag on board. However, it does not appear to have been brought on with evidence either. It does seem that he brought himself on for one trip, and this bag has mysteriously gone missing. He also must have had some considerable funds to afford this trip. I have put in a request to see if this sister is on Orpheus, to see if that he was heading that way. I'm afraid that it is not a planet I'm familiar with. I also have some footage of where the explosion occurred on the ship itself, but I'm afraid that ships are not my speciality. Perhaps we could ask the Emira whereabouts on the ship this explosion took place.
Perhaps. So where did
Go
that
on.
ship go? The sad songs? Like we
It
took all the
was
people off of it, and then
Do we still have the ship?
That's a good question. I don't think anybody's asked that. I think probably it's being like decommissioned, right? Like they're taking it apart.
okay.
But
So it's like on
still
the
around.
Prudence. Yeah.
It's big. It's a big ship. It's like almost as big as the Prudence. So it's just like in orbit over Hyra. It technically belongs to someone, and maybe that's what's getting worked out right now. But yeah, I mean, if you ask around or you look, like it's definitely like around. Yeah.
It is perhaps worth us, Cirrus, actually investigating the sad song itself. Forgive me, but I am not very comfortable with these soulless abominations and the potential threat that there may be more of them, especially if they are working together. I would like to see this matter settled very quickly.
You and I both, Chaplain. Perhaps we can speak with the Emira and have her use her expertise and her time aboard ships to try to locate this missing duffel bag. I feel that it might be very
Yes.
important.
I also am interested on exactly how our individual managed to cause such an explosion. Either he must have brought explosives on board or sabotaged the ship in some way that I can imagine would have required assistance. But that is purely speculation on my behalf, I must admit. Yes, well, please consider myself at your availability. I trust that you have read my file and you know that I am capable of handling myself in an encounter if there is one. But my skills are yours if you wish to take me aboard.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chaplain.
I mean, that's certainly an option, right? Is like you could get a shuttle and you could suit up and go on board the sad songs and like look around if that's where you think your investigation's headed.
I just feel that Yeah. There's not been a very thorough investigation into this matter.
Yeah, I mean, having somebody more familiar with the ship, like the Amira, would be useful too, for sure.
Yeah. Well, there's
cool.
no one
Okay.
like there aren't any like people on the ship, right? Because they're just taking it apart.
Right. No. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, right now, your characters wouldn't necessarily know this without looking into it, but I imagine that's with all the files the chaplain has. It's pretty easy to know. So the ship is probably like Fornax owned, but Valen operated, and they're probably trying to figure out who owns it and whether they're going to scrap it or fix it. And Crux also is like, yeah, but this is like this is an Imperial impound, and we need to figure out if this was like a terrorist act by an illegal synthetic, because if it is, then this is like a crime scene that gets so they're basically it's sitting in orbit because a bunch of nobles are arguing about who it belongs to.
Mhm.
Which is good, because that means it hasn't like left. It hasn't been destroyed or taken away. Yeah, cool. Okay. So, let's cut back to Booker and Kiran and the Surf Eleanor. So with Eleanor's assistance, yeah, you've turned up a person, and is the plan to like, should we jump to you just like talking to them? You can kind of set the stage for them because they don't know why your assistant is like looking for them.
Right. I think personally, I think that me and Booker should just ambush them and just like catch them off guard
Nice.
before they have a chance to really like prepare some kind of story. And given my station, it should be pretty easy to just like knock on their door and be like, "Hi, we're gonna chat for a moment," and
Yeah.
and then just take the lead from Booker. That would be my approach. Like, not let them know we're coming and just drop by for a cup of tea.
Yeah, that sounds great. So, the person in question is a noble, a Valen noble, named Sunil, Vela Hummel Sunil, and he is. You don't really know him. The name sounds familiar because you were on the ship at the same time. But your assistant, which is I think a fine euphemism to use for her, she was like, "Oh yeah, this is someone who knew Shadi. They like were in company. People said that they spent a lot of time together, and maybe this person would be someone to talk to."
Okay.
So you know where he's been quartered on the ship. He's been given a bunk in a small room, just like a lot of the other sort of people who survived the explosion. Yeah, he's you can find him there. And since Booker, you have access to the security systems, you know where he is all the time. So he's in his quarters.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, we head off that way.
Okay. Yeah, I think the two of you are just like walking down the hall
Mhm.
towards
And as we're walking
towards his
down,
quarters.
I'll just say, Officer Greaves, I'll let you take the lead on this one. I'll simply knock on his door, make the introduction, and uh, I'll assist in any way in helping him become more comfortable. Hopefully, my presence as a fellow Valen will make him more cooperative.
I appreciate that. Perhaps maybe you start with the pleasantries and greetings. That way it doesn't seem like they're just talking to me. Jump in whenever you feel necessary. The idea is to just get a better understanding of what happened. And whatever way you can help and make sure that happens, great.
I will do my very best. I'm just going to go and then ring the bell for the gentleman's bunk.
Okay. Yeah. It's very polite of you. So you hear a shuffling from inside, and after a minute, the door slides open. You see a man, kind of in his mid-30s, looks a little bedraggled. Someone who he looks like he's living out of a suitcase. He's wearing clothes that are a little too big for him, and obviously not in the style or cut that is like he's used to. He's wearing borrowed clothes. He has kind of like chin length black hair, and kind of hawkish features. And when he sees you, there's an immediate response of like confusion or surprise, and then he puts that away, and it becomes like a polite smile. And he
Okay.
bows, and he says, "Amira, what can I do for you?"
Is he a noble?
He is, yeah, he's a
I'm assuming.
Valen.
Okay.
He's not as
Okay.
important as you, but he's a member of your family.
I was determining how I was going to address him. Hamil, Sunil, I was hoping to just have a moment of your time. I just wanted to speak with you for just a moment. May I introduce you to Officer Greaves? He'll be joining us for this conversation.
Nice to meet
So he
you.
looks at you sort of suspiciously, and he bows again, less deeply, and he says, "Officer, is this an official investigation? I gave my report when I came on the ship. I don't know anything about what happened."
No, I've been.
We're not.
Go ahead. Yeah. Booker doesn't say anything.
You're
He's
both like,
about to
"No,
talk about it."
relax,
Yeah.
it's fine. You're not in any danger."
Yeah.
Booker probably just like was about to speak,
well-
and then you.
This was less of an official investigation, and I actually just wanted to ask you a few of the questions, or some questions about some of our fellow crew members, just to get an idea of how they're doing. Some of our crew members are been understandably so shaken by the events that happened, and I just wanted to get some of your opinions on them.
My opinions, but why? For what purpose?
Well, rather to just get an idea. There's been some stories floating around, and we just wanted to see if there was any truth to some of them, as well as get your impressions on some of the people that you were serving with.
I have already told these bears everything that I need to tell them.
So
I resent
hopefully
I
you
resent the
wouldn't
fact that
mind
I'm being questioned
telling me.
again.
Well, as you can tell, I'm not one of these bears, and I was hoping for your cooperation in this matter.
But what, you serve them now? I don't understand.
This
I have
is
rights,
more
you know. This is badgering. And he, like, you can see him,
not
like, he's
badgering.
Please,
he's
please,
getting
sir.
up his
I'm
own
not-
ass. Like, he's definitely just like, how dare you?
Yeah, Booker stepped in and he's just like, "Please, sir, I'm not meaning to badger you. I've been tasked to, deal with something that may or may not be related to this. And the more information I can get, you can only get so much from different reports. I understand and respect your cooperation with the bears, as you call them, and friends. And I know exactly what you're talking about. Believe me, I know you probably don't want to talk to me, but I'm just trying to be thorough with my job. Much more of a better source of information to talk to someone flesh and blood than to read a report. Sometimes things are missed and things get misinterpreted. So I'm just here to try to do my job as best as I can. The quicker I can do that, then I'll leave."
So Booker, it sounds like you're helping the main role here, which is Kiran. So why don't you roll talk and charisma?
Oh gosh.
7 or better, you're going to help out and give a +1 to the Amira. Nice. Okay. All right.
Ooh.
So Kiran, why don't you roll the same talk and charisma? Get a +1. Just put a 1 so you don't break the universe.
What?
Ooh.
How?
That goodwill out the window. So he looks at you and he says, "With all due respect, if I am being charged with something or questioned in an official investigation, then come back with documentation. Good day." And he like hits the button, the door slides shut in front of you.
Well, that went well.
I apologize, but doesn't he give you the air of someone who is hiding something?
He absolutely does.
I mean, his door doesn't lock, not to you, Booker.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
chat is right. I'm an expert now. I could actually technically re-roll that. I forgot that I'm no longer a partial expert, but a full expert.
That's true. He opens the door. He's like, "I was rude. Never mind. Please come in." I have rethought my position. I mean, if you want to re-roll,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
It's
if
been
you
a
want to
stressful
re-roll,
day.
he could be like, "You know what? I was rude to you. I am so sorry. Please come
It's
in."
just like I'm so used to being a partial expert, and you
Yeah,
can't.
why don't
re-roll when you're
you
partial
re-roll?
expert.
We've only got like a half hour left, so do it.
That's true. I might as well. I totally forgot I'm a full-on expert. We have our benefits. Watch me fail it again.
Yeah, for sure.
Do it.
Hey.
Hey!
So yeah, he closes the door in your face.
Thanks,
You
Pat.
have this like moment of like, that didn't go very well. He's definitely hiding something. And then the door opens again. And you can see, and he's like, "Amira, I'm sorry. These have been trying times. I am in an unfamiliar place, surrounded by unfamiliar people, but that is no reason for me to be rude, especially not to a cousin. Please, come inside. I don't have the means to provide for you food or drink, but if there is questions, I can at least be patient with you. I'm sorry. And he gestures for you to like come inside.
I understand. Thank you so much for opening the door. And I follow him in.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like this is only a little bit better than the cell that the other dude is staying in. These are like multi-purpose rooms meant for people who are used to a military level of sort of Spartan behavior. So he doesn't have a lot of stuff. He didn't bring anything with him. So it's just like, a small room with a cot and a table and a viewport, or like a fake viewport, right? Showing like space, but not really. And then a little side door that leads to a little like refresher. So he would have to eat in the mess hall if he wants food, that kind of thing. So so he gestures and he looks at you like, see the bullshit I have to put up with in this stupid ship. But then to Booker, he says, it is more austere than I am used to, but we make do with what we must. And I have been told that a Velen ship will be coming to continue our journey soon.
I'm
I
sorry you've had to deal
apologize
with-
that they weren't able to give you
And
accommodations
he's like,
according to your station.
yeah, and he's nodding. He's like, of course. That's nothing to worry about. I've slept in worse. And he gestures, and like I guess there's not enough chairs. Someone can sit on the bed. There's one chair, and that's it. So
I'll stand. I'm just gonna
Okay.
kind of.
I think Booker's going to
Yeah.
stand too. It's like he's sitting in.
so
front of the
everybody
front of the vehicle
stands
for a
then. If neither of you sit, he doesn't sit. So you're all just
Right.
standing there. Okay, that's
It
fine.
would be
while.
awkward.
Booker
if
motions like
not enough places
you can
to sit.
please feel free to sit.
He's
if you
not
want.
gonna sit if you don't. He's like, he just looks at you. He's like, it's fine. If you think this won't take long, please. What can I do for you?
Just want to get a better understanding of what happened in your own recollection on the ship. You understand, you hear and see the reports. There's been limited, limited details of what exactly. I just want to get your own, face-to-face interaction of what happened in your eyes. And please be as descriptive as possible.
Well, as I told the officers when I came on board, at the time of the incident, I was in astral navigation. I was consulting with some of the officers on the ship about charting a path on our way there. There was a very interesting paper published recently by a Pixis scientist about, and he puts his hands up, and he looks apologetically at you, Booker, like you're too dumb to understand what I want to say, and he looks at you with the opposite look, Kiran, like this guy won't understand it, so I'm going to skip the details. And he says, we were going over their math. I am of the mind that it's all Pixis silliness, but they had it in their mind that we could shave some time off with. Well, the argument never got to a conclusion because there was a disturbance that far away from where the incident occurred. We didn't feel it. You understand? It was an alarm. Someone thought it was a fire, or you know how these things go. Everyone thinks it's a drill. No one wants to be taken away from their work. But we were doing complex math. It's you can't do it with a klaxon sounding in your ears. But then we realized that it was real. There was a problem, and so we left. We left for the shuttles, and we were on the emergency shuttle for less than a day before we were picked up. We were lucky. The Prudence was on its way, and after that, I imagine you have surveillance information for everywhere that I've been.
Once again, what was your assistant? Your assistant said that this person worked with.
He's been seen in the company. He's been seen in the company of your synth many times.
Yeah. Apparently they were kind of chummy.
What was his name again? Because I suck at names.
Shadi.
Bishara. Yeah.
Shadi.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And can I ask you about an individual, Shadi? I'm led to understand that you spent some time with them, just trying to get more information about them.
Hmm. No, the name does not ring a bell.
That's so.
He shrugs.
Booker's like staring at them intently to try to note. I'm gonna roll a notice just to see if there's any.
Yeah. So this would be notice with wisdom.
Fuck. Why?
Okay. I mean, I think it's clear something is up, but it doesn't seem
Yeah.
he's not sweating. He doesn't it's just very casual. He's just like,
Yeah,
oh, it
exactly.
doesn't ring a bell.
Booker just looks at Kieran and
Yeah.
the assistant. Like,
That's a bit odd, Sunil. I could have swore I saw you on multiple occasions in Bishara Shadi's company.
I don't mean to be
Before
rude,
you
but I
say
think
anything, you're not helping him with your silence. Your friend has fallen under some suspicion, and anything you say could help him. Because as of right now, between you and I, things are not looking so good for him.
I thought you said that this was just a casual visit. Am I being accused of something, Amira?
You are not being accused of something. I merely have some concerns that a member of our crew is being wrongfully accused of something he did not do.
If
And
someone is
when
being
my
wrongfully
assistant-
accused of a crime, this sounds like a crux problem. And he looks accusingly at Booker.
this isn't an official investigation. I'm just asking for help. However, if I find out that you're lying to me, looks at him very, very pointedly. That won't go well for you.
Are you threatening me, officer?
But if you are not lying, then there's nothing wrong.
Yeah. And he scowls and he says, I don't know this Shadi you're talking about. And so I have no friend in this mortal danger, you claim.
And you're certain on that. This will be the last time I ask.
He nods slowly.
All right. Well, if there's anything else that you can think of that might have been off or weird behaviors on the ship, be sure to contact me. Yes, I hope. This isn't just for your own safety; it's for the safety of everyone on this ship, which, for now, you're residing on.
What is this Bishara Shadi accused of exactly?
Well, I'm afraid if you're not going to be forthcoming with me, I can't be forthcoming with you.
Very well.
I had hoped for better. I heard good things about your family. Regardless, thank you for your time. We should probably be going.
Yeah, he just sneers at you like, you think you're hot shit. Get out of here, you and your crux boyfriend.
I should have come alone.
Yeah, I mean, this guy seems to not like House Crux very much for some reason.
I know.
That-
and he is,
That might have
everything
soured it.
until he saw Booker. Yeah, everything was great. And then he saw Booker and immediately things got he got icy. It's okay.
Could be that.
As we're leaving, Booker's just shoots him a quick glance, like, thanks for the time. Be seeing you.
He just looks at you like the look is I hope not, but he's resigned, so he's just kind of like sighs. Okay, yeah. So you walk out and his door
Mhm.
shuts.
I'm gonna kind of side eye Eleanor and be like, "You could have warned me that he wasn't very fond of crooks."
And she nods her head and she says, "I am sorry, my lady."
Just
Well,
be a little more thorough.
be that as it may,
As you wish,
I-
Amira.
I tend to have that effect on people, regardless of crux or not. Usually they can tell I'm, well, me. I do believe he's definitely hiding something, though.
Oh, that is
In
not
what
in
way he's
question
not being
anymore.
forthcoming, can't be sure, but I will be keeping a close eye on them. Booker actually like starts to punch into something into his pad, and I'm assuming
Mhm.
this is fine, but he's going to put a monitor on him so that to ping for certain areas, just to keep, if basically through the ship's computer, if he deviates in any sort of like regular areas that he should be, it'll
Oh
ping.
yeah. Like all you have to do is hit a couple of buttons, and you will have a constant video feed of everywhere he goes based on the face
Yep.
matching recognition. Like, yeah, you have massive surveillance on the ship. So yeah, anytime you want, you just be like, "Where is this guy?" and I will tell you.
Yeah.
Do you want like alerts? The very helpful Prism surveillance software like prompts you, like, would you like to know when this person goes to this place or that other place? Like,
Yep.
where would you like to know if they get? Would you like
Yep.
alerts? So
Prompt,
what do you what do you want to
Booker
know?
enters in all that. Basically, if he goes anywhere that deviates from like the mess hall to normal areas that are like consistent with his normal movement patterns.
He's already not allowed to go to like most places on the ship that aren't like common areas, because it's a crux ship. It's a police
Mhm.
operation, so he can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you're all civilians, but he can't just walk into a place.
Yeah.
But you can set it up so that you can monitor him even within those places he's allowed to be. So, what do you think? Do you want to like just if he goes, because right now the system, because it's already monitoring him, is like he basically spends all of his time in 3 places. He goes from his room to the mess area to eat and hang out. And then there's like a recreation like center, a little area where like the agents and officers of the ship will go to, like, play ping pong and like hang out, like kind of a rec room, and that's been opened to these visitors. So those are the only 3 places he ever goes. So do you just want it anytime he goes somewhere that's not that?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And then I'll probably
Officer
periodically
Brady.
check in on him. What's up?
Okay.
I mean, what's up? How you doing?
What up, girl?
Yes.
This may seem a bit harsh, but given your authority and station on the ship, would it be possible for you to officially detain this individual as opposed to casually detain him? I simply think that a couple of hours in a cell, and he would probably be more forthcoming with information if we spoke to him again. We tried it the more friendly way, and it's clear that he is lying. It is within my interests as well to know what information this gentleman has, because I'm very interested in knowing who perpetrated these attacks on my ship. Would it be possible to arrest this individual?
Adam, based
Officially
on
or unofficially?
the reason I haven't gone that far is because from what I was told, Booker was told, is just to find out about this synth. Talk to the synth, try to, there's no
Find out if the synth is connected to a greater network of like other synths, right? Because it's a win either way, because you caught one of the bad robots and you can retire him and be done with it. But this is maybe we can like get some more info that'll lead us to other bad robots that we could get.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I could twist it. I don't know if they're they're related somehow, but I could twist it and just be like, well, he's not being cooperative. Someone's being weird. So I'm going to detain them for a little bit. and see what they're about.
I just
However,
think a couple hours in an actual prison cell and a softie like him is going to crack right open.
I just know that Booker's on close watch. So
I
if
know.
this falls outside mission parameters for Booker, that's not going to look
Right.
very good for Booker.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't say
I mean-
investigate what happened on the ship and weirdness. 'Cause Booker's
But we
kind of
do know that
onto it a
he
little
has
bit.
information about the synth and that he's lying. So that might be probable cause right there. He's harboring a synth, technically, or
Yeah.
you know, like that's reasonable cause. I feel like to
Or
arrest
is it,
someone. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Obstructing
Out of
justice.
character. Yeah.
Yeah, so here's
Yeah.
the great thing about noble space justice is, at least in the short term, you can just make up whatever bullshit you need to justify the bad things that you're going to do to people. The only problem is if he has like an influential family that comes after you, but like,
Mhm.
because he's not a pleb. If he was a pleb, you could just be like, "I'm going to kill you unless you do what I say." But yeah, you
Right.
could trump up some, like, you could be like, I don't know, like it's like Mark said, obstructing justice or
Treason, because he's helping synths.
suspected. Yes, if you think that he is helping illegal synthetics, like, then yes, you could. That's a good reason to bust something.
Okay, well then Booker's gonna do this. He's gonna calm to the Richter real quick.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
so the Richter is in the middle of like just like he's in his office, and yeah, he's like, officer.
Richter, sorry to bother you, but with this ongoing investigation, I believe I may have encountered a member of the Swan Song crew that may know more than they're letting on about this whole synth business, and it seems like they're withholding information. I'd like permission to detain them, maybe sweat out the information.
And there's a pause, and he says,
Or at very least have an official investigation, so I and you get where I'm going with this.
who is this person, Officer Greaves?
I've forgotten their name.
They are
Emil.
blah, blah, blah.
His name is Vela Hummel Sunil. But yeah, you
Vela,
can tell him.
Hamus-Neal.
Ah,
I just spoke with them in a more casual setting, but given how that went, I would like a more official authority on this matter.
well, if you believe that there's reason to apprehend this person, then please do so. But in the future, Officer Greaves, chain of command, you report to Kriegsherr Ibanez now. He is the one who would be approving these things for you. There's a slight ping on your like pad, and there's like an arrest warrant for this dude. Just whoop, pops up, and he says, "Good hunting, Officer Greaves."
I understand. Thank you.
Hangs up. Yeah. So that's all it took. So Kieran, about a 10-second conversation, and now you have an arrest warrant for this guy.
Yay.
Booker like goes like this, shows the pad to her, is like, "Go have another chat."
In that case, I'll leave the nitty gritty to you, and we'll meet again later. If you would like me present for your second chat with this individual after he's had a little bit of time to sweat it out in a cell, let me know, and I'll make myself available.
Sounds good. Appreciate the help thus far.
I'm gonna leave because I don't want to be there when they arrest him. Awkward.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
a Crux thing. That's not my thing.
Okay. All right. So meanwhile, let's catch up real quick with the chaplain and with Nomi, because I want to give you a chance to pursue whatever you're pursuing. So what do the two of you want to do? What are you up to?
Can't remember.
I
What
wanna
we
go-
get?
Yeah, we were gonna get the Amira, so that I wanted to like form kind of
Oh,
a little
perfect.
team so we could sweep the ship. Try and
Okay,
figure out where that
yeah.
duffel bag went.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. Right,
Well,
you're getting
busting
ready. You're getting
stuff.
ready to getting ready to go and like head out to the ship. Okay, so let's assume that you could requisition any physical gear that you need. You could potentially requisition like a scan team if you want, like people like Crux dudes that will come out with scanners, basically stormtroopers that'll sweep the ship for anything that you're telling them to sweep for. But yeah, the Amira is someone you'd have to ask, like, hey, you know the ship better than we do. So that's something. So you probably, I guess, you run into or you find her after she is done with Officer Greaves. So do you like call her up and are like, hey, meet us here, or?
Yeah. Well, so I think I would go to her in person. So I like find out wherever she is, I guess, and then because I'd like for the 3 of us and then also a scan team to go.
Okay.
Cool. So I guess I just walk up to wherever she is. Is she like?
And was this? Did you, Nomi? Did you? Is this like a go like right now thing where you're like, hey, I need a team assembled, and I'm gonna go over and investigate the ship, and like we'll meet you in the shuttle bay.
Yeah, quickly is better, just in case like something happens and they're like, this ship is leaving now. You're like, wait.
Yeah. So totally, you just tell the nearest like crux guy like, hey, make this happen, and he, yes, ma'am. And they build you a team. So there'll be a team of 4 crux officers waiting for you in the shuttle bay as soon as you're ready.
I'd probably while Nomi's like calling all this in and like making plans, like calling Amira and the scan team, I'd probably be like, should we bring Officer Greaves along with us, Cirrus? The man does have a good investigative ability. He and I uncovered several things about this perpetrator earlier. It could be useful to bring him aboard with us.
Yes, that's a good idea, Chaplain. Thank you for thinking of that. Perhaps you want to ask him if he'll accompany us while I talk to the Amira.
Of course, Cirrus. That would be my pleasure. I'm more than happy to do this. And then I'll step aside and beep boop, beep boop.
Is that the sound of you walking, or?
Yes, weirdly,
some future
my
shoes.
I thought
Listen,
it was
Mark.
like his data pad.
Mark, we talked about this. You're supposed to keep the fact that you're a synth on the down low, not make beep boop noises everywhere you go. They're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. And then I talk to them. Weirdly, I sound like R2D2.
Yeah.
I love that you're like a robo priest. Like, God is awesome. Who doesn't love God? Praise him. Praise him.
Hide in plain sight.
10 blessings to you. 10 blessings to you.
Just get stuck.
All right, someone try turning him off and on again.
I shoot him in the head.
Awesome. All right.
For some
So
reason,
you-
I was just
you-
imagining like those squeaky shoes, except ones that go beep boop beep boop beep boop. when you
Like,
walk.
It's got the little LEDs
So you're
on
gonna
Yeah,
you're gonna get in touch with Booker. Let Booker know
Yes.
that's your plan. Okay.
Yes.
So Nomi, you go to talk to the Amira and let her know kind of what you're gonna do, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd probably give Nomi the scans of the ship where the explosion happened, and then say maybe ask the Amira whereabouts on the ship this is as well.
Yeah. So I mean, rather than do all the kind of like, I go to you and I ask you about the thing that you know I'm going to ask you about because you've been listening to us play out the scene, and like, what do you say? And you're going to say yes because you want to be involved in this thing. Like, unless there's a reason why you would need to be convinced, Amira, I think we could just skip all that stuff and say like,
No,
you're
yeah,
going to go
yeah.
with. Okay. All right.
I'd sign on. Yeah.
So Booker,
I think my only caveat would be that we come back within a couple of days. Otherwise, the dude that me and Booker threw in. the grave
this is
gonna be
not a
rotting in
multi-day
there.
operation.
Yeah,
This is a like
yeah,
go out in the
so-
morning, come home in the evening. Yeah.
Oh yeah, then
Um,
I'd just sign on.
Okay. So Booker, are you do you want to do your arrest before or after you go to the ship? Or also, do you need convincing, or are you like, cool, I'll go along?
Probably after.
Okay.
He was going to do it right then. That's probably right when he got pinged. He's like, I got time for this.
Right. So when Valencia, when you call Booker, it's like he's got one hand on his gun and he's like about to give this guy the business, and he's like, oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Right. So I think probably then we can cut there and we can start the next episode like just right on the ship. Right. We'll start.
Mhm.
We'll do the opening shot of like your crux like landing shuttle, and then the Hulk of the sad songs. Cool. Awesome. All right. We'll start there. So Mark, so I don't forget, should we do experience?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think I've got it, but yeah.
Okay, so Booker, I don't think you're quite at the bottom of the problem yet, but definitely next
No.
episode you'll have like a real clear view of what happened over there.
Yeah.
Kiran, I think you got yours. You talked to the crew and you found out some more. You found a guy that's a lead. So take an XP there. And Valencio, do you feel like you know how to get Nomi's trust now? Do you feel like you've understood that? I think you have some ways to go.
Nomi, yeah, I guess like I guess his way of thinking is that she seems to respond well to competence and people that kind of take initiative. But yeah, I probably got a little bit more time to go.
Okay.
To
Yeah, we'll
gain
give it some room
trust.
to breathe. And then Nomi, I feel like you got some info out of the synth. You did what you set out to do today. So yeah, mark an XP. Cool. All right, that'll do her. So we'll pick up next time with the mystery of what happened on the sad song "Say So Much." Let's do some shout outs and take it home. Chaplain Valencio, would you like to begin?
10 blessings to you. Thanks for watching. I love the show. It's really fun. I'm really enjoying this new character as well. It's been really awesome. I really miss playing with the guys. You can check me. I'm a DM for my own D&D show called High Rollers D&D. We stream on Sundays over on twitch.tv/High Rollers D&D. It starts at 5 p.m. UK time, which you can sort out yourselves. But we're also starting up a brand new Wizard of the Coast mini-series. So if you don't want to watch like a big epic thing, we're doing a 12-part mini-series for the new Dragon Heist module, which is over on the Wizards D&D channel, but also on the High Rollers Twitch channel. That's going to be really fun. And that's we put the first episode out, character creation, that's out already. And we'll be doing for the next 11 weeks. Check that out. Yay.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. We're doing some Dragon Heist stuff too for Roll20. I'm excited to give it a go.
I like that when they get everybody doing those different shows because it's everybody's like different take on the same thing is always fun to see.
Well, and that adventure is like split up too. We'll talk about it once we're actually both playing it. We'll have lots of stuff to say.
No.
Cool. All right. Bronze.
I'm muted. Hi, hello. I'm that bronze girl. Thank you so much, everybody. It's so nice to have everyone here. You know, it's so much fun. I was like nervous coming into this today because it'd been a while since we did it, but y'all are so much fun to play with. I feel like we all just slipped right into character and it was super fun. And watching Nomi and Booker interact, it was like watching a slow motion train wreck and you want to like look away, but you're also like, oh, this is so awkward. I love it, and I can't wait for more. You're all treasures. I'm a full-time variety caster here on twitch.tv. You can catch me at all of the links over on the side here. Thank you for all of your kind words and awesomeness. That's all I have for you. Look at this awesome shirt I have. You can have one too, I think. Wait, JP, is that now or late? No,
someday you'll be able to have your own.
That's it. Right now, this is a noble only privilege. Maybe one day.
Next person.
Cool, thanks, Bronze. That's great. Next, Max, talk about anything else. Just go ahead.
Let me talk to you about Far Verona merchandise. No, I'm just kidding.
God damn it, Max.
I am GassyMexican on Twitch here and on YouTube. I make content for both things. I'll probably not be streaming later tonight, but maybe you can follow my Twitter if you want to see that happen, whether or not that's happening, because I'm going to be going to PAX. So any of you that are going to be going to PAX West, I believe there is a role play panel that they can tell you more about what time it is and all that stuff. I don't have that information, but it's going to be awesome.
Nice.
All of us role players that are going to PAX are going to mainly be on there. I don't know the exact roster, but it's going to be fun. So if you've seen the outside of that or on that, definitely say hi. It's going to be super cool. I look forward to meeting all you guys. I believe I have a meet and greet as well. Again, Twitter, find all that stuff there. Good show today. Some cool moments that I'm sure I'm excited to talk about in the post show. Specifically also, the tension that was felt. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
Cool. And last but not least, our return to the Serpents, Nomi Ka. And now that you're back in America, where can people find you on the internet?
So like most other people here, I'm a full-time variety broadcaster. I play variety. I play a lot of Rainbow Six Siege mostly. So, I was gone for the past couple of weeks. So thanks to Kate for filling in. Sorry that it was only the 1 week because of scheduling things, but I'm glad that she was able to do that anyway. And I'm excited for the post show, I'm excited to talk about like meeting the new characters and stuff. So thank you guys for watching. I had a really great time. And yeah, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, everything is all the same. AnneMunition. And I'll probably see you guys tonight for the only time I will ever play this game, Rainbow Six Siege. Just kidding. I play it all the time.
It's a one-time affair. Cool. All right. Well, that's our episode. I've been your Space Master, Adam Coble. You can find me right here alongside Max and JP and Dan and Zeke when he gets back from Burning Man, continuing Court of Swords, which is starting up season 5 real soon. That'll happen right after PAX. And otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at skinnyghost or twitch.tv/Adam Coble. I'm also in a bunch of other places, but that's the main jam right there. That's where you can find me. I noticed today that my bio in chat has been changed to Adam Dodger's friend Coble, which is technically true, but also whoever did that, fuck you. That's it for us. We are done. We're going to go and record the post show. For this show, especially, if you're interested in watching the post show material, but also getting involved in the much broader Far Verona faction turn, there's a whole like fan game that I'm running. We did faction turn number 4 today, and it's like a big, cool, dramatic thing. If you want to check that out, patreon.com/roleplay. We're going to go and record a video for that right now. Thank you for watching. Thanks for coming, everybody. And we will see you next time. Bye, y'all.